how do we choose our clients? We're at this stage now that we get to choose our clients that we're doing. It got frustrating when I would train somebody and they wouldn't give as much as I'm giving to them during their time.
Him and Jeffrey go through questions on the internet and people asking very detailed questions. And I'm sitting there watching the level of thought that is going into the answer.
And one guy said, "Hey, I'm 220. Should I cut or bulk? Should I cut up or bulk up?"
Maybe that's his only concern.
Hey guys. Hello.
Texas. That's pretty awesome.
So guys, Clark Bartram, Mr. California, Mr. Everything, Mr. TV star, had his own show, working out on the beach back in the days, during my gladiator times. Here's the thing though, Clark has been doing this not much less than I have. Not much less. Decades. In the magazines, early 90s. Still relevant today, still in the magazines today, still relevant, and also made the transition from old school to new school, and a sensation on social media as well as a coach. The reason why I brought him on today is because today was a fun day. He's also, if you didn't know, he is godfather to a baby mutant metahuman child Titan. So, and he will also be doing the speed work along with Heath Evans on this, and the football drills starting soon. So the point of today is I was looking for something today, and we were talking about training and talking to clients. How do we choose our clients? We're at this stage now that we get to choose our clients that we're doing. And one of the great things about choosing our clients is that we can eliminate the ones that don't help motivate us too. Because I think at this stage, we like training people. But again, you guys understand this training is something we do as part-time, as something we love, not something we have to do. So it's something that we're still involved because we love it. One of the biggest frustrations I had when I was a young kid is that I had to take on every client because I had to pay rent. And then I realized after years and years of doing that, that it got frustrating when I would train somebody and they wouldn't give as much as I'm giving to them during their time. You know, if I'm training you, I'm hoping that you will do the work outside of there so we can keep enhancing. Now, obviously, as a young kid, you don't get that luxury. If you're doing your own line on social media, again, you probably don't get that luxury right now, mostly with the lockdown, so you got to take on everybody. We're at the stage that we're not taking on everybody, and we get to eliminate that. So here's the funny thing. The old saying, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. We have our own coaching style. We talk to our people in a sense of, go for it. Kind of tell them.
Matter of fact,
What was the word you used?
practical. So let me say this. I stopped training people for the exact reason Mike just talked about, because people weren't engaged to the level I was engaged. If someone shows up at my house or on my computer, I am fully engaged with them because I have no other mode. I can't go half speed. It's like playing sports and we all agree, hey, we're going to go play football. It ends up turning into tackle. You say you're going to go half speed, but you go full speed because there is no other speed. And I wish I could stop it, but I can't. So the same goes with my energy when I go to my clients. So I just got frustrated to the point, and like Mike said, I have the luxury of saying, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to train you. So I've actually raised my prices to the point where I price myself out of the market. So when someone says yes, I either know they have too much money to do something with, or they're really going to engage. So I jumped back in the game, and I have a handful of people who are as committed as I am. And like you said, it feeds me. I love it. I love watching the human body change. I love seeing what people can do. I mean, I'm looking at some freaks you got in here right now with Serge and Jeffrey.
You guys know them,
Yeah,
Jeff and Serge, and how much they've grown since the lockdown.
I came in here and I'm like, oh my God, I saw them in the street. I'm like, between the two of them,
Suspicious.
it has to be at least 70 pounds of muscle mass that they put on. So the evidence is there. Yeah. So with that comes the ability to be practical and matter of fact. When someone asks, I'll say it, a stupid question that it's like, you know, my wife, and Mona's probably not the same way because she's probably a little harder than Anita is, but Anita gets so frustrated with me when I am so to my clients. I'm like, I don't get it sometimes, man. But let me say this about Mike real quick. We just sat up there and did an hour cardio. And I watched the two of him and Jeffrey go through questions on the internet and people asking very detailed questions. And I'm sitting there watching the level of thought that is going into the answers. It's not just do more cardio or drink more water. It's like reading every damn word and responding. And then, matter of fact, even going back, like, wait a minute, I forgot something, and adding to the answer. So that's where a frustration comes in with a coach who's all in and really wants to give you the best advice possible. Then you check in next week and you didn't do that stuff, you'd need to get your ass kicked.
So yeah, these are some of the stuff we want. If you guys, what he's talking about is that we were, my team and I were just doing the Titan check-ins, and the Titan check-ins are over on the private group on the Facebook. And so we're going through all these people. I told everybody on the Titan crew to check in, and now I'm going to get back to them. They answer at least 20 questions, pictures and everything, and then I dissect it, tell them what they need to do for the next 3 weeks.
And dissecting is a really good word too, because that's an honest description of the level of thought that goes into the answer.
And as we were doing this, obviously, there's some people there, no changes. They're doing great. Their body's changing and moving in the right direction. Other people are actually answering the questions and confusing themselves when they answer the questions because they're going two different directions. And I'm like, slow down. Okay, you got to figure out what you want to do because you're giving me two different things here. And then other people are checking in when they shouldn't check in. Now, this is where I think today's subject is going to really focus on, because of the fact of commitment to each other. We can't get the time back from coaching. And I don't know how you guys are, but I know Instagram, we shut off the DMs, but DMs slip in there somehow. And the reason why I don't answer DMs or basic text messages off of the Titan crew outside of it is because of the fact of commitment. Today's society, and I notice this also not just with the kids, but everybody, even the elders, just reach out for the easy question that's not really going to benefit them, but to them, it's the pinnacle of the 10 Commandments. Oh, if you answer this, this is going to get me to win the Olympia. You're just asking about how much water you should have for your protein shake. You know, it's not going to really win you the Olympia. Yeah. But some of the stuff is the commitment that we try to give to our groups. Clark has a group, and I'll give you that information here for you guys because I'd love you to join his group as well. What triggered, I think, today's conversation is I gave a free, hey, ask me anything. And so it's your one time to ask me a question, anything. And one guy said, hey, I'm 220. Should I cut or bulk? Should I cut up or bulk up?
Maybe that's his only concern.
I know, but
It's impossible to answer that.
how do you
Just
answer that
ignore it.
question? How do you guys answer
You
that
could have
question?
asked the greatest question and you were like, should I bulk up?
Yeah, sure.
You know my answer would be?
What?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There you go.
Mine was cool.
Yeah.
You get the chance to talk to a legend and to answer to ask a question and you answer that. I'm out of here. I don't know what to say.
Go eat your carbs.